Can we just talk about all of the things that go into being a female wedding filmmaker? Yes, we can. Welcome to the podcast, The Wedding Filmmaker. This is the first episode, and I'm so excited to dive into all the things that I have planned, and I'm really excited that you're here along with me for the ride. So, hello, I'm Janae. I am a female wedding filmmaker. I am based in Iowa, just right in the middle, a little town called Boone. I have been married for 9 years, and I have 2 sons that are 6 and 2. I wanted to start this podcast to connect with other female wedding filmmakers and inspire other ones that are just getting started to be able to hold their own in a space that is predominantly men. I have been filming weddings since 2017 and haven't really stopped since. I absolutely love it. I had a friend who asked me to film her wedding for her. At the time I was in film school, so I was like, sure, I'll try anything. And it was super fun, and I haven't stopped since. I do have a degree in digital cinematography from Full Sail University. I graduated in 2020, so right before the pandemic happened, and it was such a fun couple years of my life. I did it all online, but I did go down to Full Sail University to graduate because I am super extra. I also do photography as well. I picked that up a couple years ago. Just because a lot of people would see my camera and think I can just take pictures as well, which, okay, valid. So I learned how to shoot photo as well, and now I do both, but predominantly for weddings, I do shoot video. I do have a studio space here in Boone, Iowa. That's where I am right now. It is so much fun to have a space where you can create for both photo and video. So the vision behind my podcast, I kind of touched on it earlier, was that I just really want it to be a space for female wedding filmmakers to feel like they're not alone. I've actually met a couple of them working in the wedding industry, and it's super fun to get to meet some other females that are in this part of weddings because you don't really see many. I think it's really cool to shine a spotlight on the women in the industry and kind of the struggles we go through, as well as the advantages of being a female filmmaker. So I'm really hoping that this podcast inspires other female filmmakers in the wedding industry or not. I hope that young women in film are able to watch these podcasts and listen to the podcasts and really understand that there's more of us out there, we're just not as much as the men, and that we all have a say in the industry. Some things I hope to have on my podcast. The first thing is having other female wedding filmmakers as guests. I want to spotlight their business and their stories and their struggles and things like that, just to, really get a good glimpse into the industry and the people working in the industry. I think that's really cool and really important to have, diversity in who's on the podcast. I also want to share some behind-the-scenes stories. I want to share some of my struggles and my victories that I've had in the industry as well, just to show you the realness of it. Because, if you go to my social media, you're just going to see, the highlight videos, the teaser videos, some behind-the-scenes stuff, but really not the storytelling version of it, which I really wanted to have a place to share that sort of stuff. I also want to share some of my tips and tricks, gear stuff, talk about different shooting, techniques, and different things that can help other filmmakers. I am also a mom and a wife, so I want to talk about that side of my life as well. I want to talk about, the work-life balance part of it. I have young kids, and I want to talk about, how I juggle all of it, how working on the weekends can be a struggle. I want to be real with you guys. I definitely think that there's a lot of room for that, and I think there's a lot of misconceptions about how much time it really takes out of your life to be a wedding filmmaker. It's not just a weekend thing, and a lot of other women will relate to me on that too. So I just want to talk about, burnout, mental health, work-life balance, be real with you guys, that sort of stuff. I also really want to talk about the challenges that come with being a female in the industry. I want to talk about different ideas that I have to overcome those challenges. I want to talk about just different, like the way that it's different from a man being in the industry. I think that's really important to shed a light on. I feel like that's really important in any male-dominated industry because women tend to be discriminated against, and I think it's really important to shine a light on the challenges that come with that. So I hope this podcast can do that, and I hope that you enjoy listening to those parts of it as well. So as far as like my own story, my own experience with being a wedding filmmaker, the biggest thing that I've learned so far is to just be an advocate for yourself, because no one's going to do it for you, especially on a wedding day. It's going to be chaotic. It's crazy. No one's really thinking about what the videographer needs, what shots the videographer needs. So you have to advocate for yourself. You have to say, hey, step in while the photographer's doing portraits. Hey, I really think this shot would be cool. I want to get this shot. People are going to might be upset about it, or might be like, ugh, that's going to take a few minutes. I want all the portrait time to myself. But you really have to say, like, hey, these are the shots that I need, especially with photographers who aren't typically used to working with videographers. They think that videographers just get all their shots from what the photographer is doing. That's not necessarily true. It can be, but a lot of the portraits that we need are going to be movement-based, and some photographers just do, like, here's the pose you're going to do, hold still while I get the photo. And the videographer's like, that looks stupid on video. So we're going to do our own version of that, but it's going to have some movement in it. It's going to have some life to it, just to make it look good for the video. So that's the biggest lesson I've learned so far, is just to advocate for yourself and to constantly be thinking about, okay, this person doesn't understand that I need this to happen, so I'm going to just go ahead and tell them. And that could be really scary because it's very intimidating to be on a wedding day and have all this stuff going on, and you have to just like step out and say, hey, the attention's going to go to you for a minute, and you're going to say, hey, I want this, which it can be scary, but it's so important to serve your clients in that way and make sure that they're getting the video that they paid for. Once I figured out how to advocate for myself, I think my wedding films have changed so much. They have gotten so much better because I've been able to do the things that I want to do, what my vision is, and I see a shot in my head and I say, hey, I want to do this shot, or I tell them, hey, wait for me, or, don't do this part without me. Stuff like that, because I feel like a lot of the time videographers have to do a lot more as far as like loading gear, unloading gear, setting up gear than other people in the industry, not the DJ, but other people. And so I think, especially the photographer, so I think it's really important to do that and to overcome that challenge. For me, I can definitely be a fly on the wall. I love doing that, but it's hard for me to really step out and say, hey, you need to wait for me, or hey, whatever. So I think that was one of the challenges that I overcame as a videographer, and I always, always, always tell other people to please advocate for yourself. Tell them, hey, you need to wait for me, or hey, whatever. I think it's important to do that even before the wedding happens. Like, do that on the phone. Talk to the photographer. Talk to the couple. Say, hey, after the ceremony's over, I need 10 minutes to pack up my stuff before we move on to the next thing. So that way they're not just assuming that you're just going to get on the party bus with them as soon as the ceremony's over, leaving your tripods and your mics out. Those are things that are really good to communicate beforehand. I think that women really bring something really unique to wedding videography. I love watching videos that female wedding videographers have made. I think they add a lot of emotion, they add a lot of just unique details and unique emotional spots. They're really great at capturing just those little moments that you don't think about, that you don't plan for. I think on the fly moments are really important on a wedding day, and I think that the female eye really sees and notices those things. And so I think it's really cool that women can do that, and that we are able to kind of to look for those moments and really capture them and add them to the video, in the right spots, in the perfect spots with the music, and really line it up to be an emotionally beautiful video and show all the best parts of the day, but not cutting out, the imperfect parts as well. We want to add those imperfect things to the video. That's what makes the video about that couple. And I think that women are really good at doing that. I think that female wedding photographers also get that really well. I am super excited to have this podcast, to share stories that I've never been able to share anywhere else, to be real and vulnerable with you guys, to really showcase what it's like to be a videographer on the wedding day. And I think sharing those crazy stories is also going to be really fun too, because I have quite a few of those. And it will be super fun to just showcase the behind the scenes and what it's actually like to be a female wedding videographer. So I'm really hoping that this podcast becomes a space for female wedding filmmakers to really feel seen and feel heard and feel understood. I also hope that it's something that lots of people are able to listen to and relate to. I'm also hoping that people are able to learn from it, to take advice from me as someone who's been in the industry for 8 years. I also hope that this can be some source of entertainment for those of you who are driving long ways to weddings or just going on a road trip, because that is my favorite thing to do, is to listen to podcasts while I'm driving towards weddings, to get in the zone and get ready to do my job and to have a great day. And it kind of passes the time as well. I really hope that you guys will follow along with me on this journey to having a podcast. I hope that you will share it with others who are also in the industry. I hope that they will also relate to and enjoy the podcast, and also share with anyone who's also in the filmmaking business. It doesn't have to be weddings, but a lot of us can relate to a lot of the things that I'm going to talk about as far as being in the industry as a female. I do want to answer questions on here as well, so if you could please follow me on all my social medias. You can ask questions in the comments and I'll answer them, or you can reach out to me through direct message. I want to create a space to follow each other's work, to connect, to have fun, to meet new people. I think that'd be an amazing thing to have in this world. So thank you for listening or watching my new podcast. I'm really, really excited to get to do this with you guys. I really hope that you guys are able to connect with me and that you're able to find all of my social medias. I have everything under the Wedding Filmmaker. And I'm really, really excited to start this journey with you guys. If you guys have any questions, please drop them in the comments. I will be super happy to answer them for you. If you're interested in being a guest on my podcast, if you're a female filmmaker, that'd be amazing. I would really love to have you on the podcast and just to talk about your story and your journey so far as a filmmaker. So thank you guys for following along. I hope to really make this an awesome space for other female wedding videographers. So